Is your Social Security check at risk of disappearing? Millions of Americans who depend on SSA, SSI, and SSDI payments could be facing a financial nightmare sooner than you think. The looming crisis that nobody's talking about could leave seniors and disabled Americans without the income they desperately rely on. Today, I'm revealing the shocking truth that mainstream media won't tell you about why your benefits might disappear and what you absolutely need to know to protect yourself. If you're concerned about the future of your Social Security benefits, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now. I provide critical updates on SSA, SSI, and SSDI that you simply can't afford to miss in these uncertain times. Let me be clear right from the start, this isn't some distant threat that might happen years down the road. The Social Security Administration itself has acknowledged that without immediate intervention, the trust funds that support these vital programs are running dangerously low. What does this mean for the millions of Americans who depend on these monthly payments to survive? It means uncertainty, anxiety, and potentially devastating financial consequences if action isn't taken soon. Have you considered what you would do if your benefits were suddenly reduced or delayed? For most recipients, there simply isn't a backup plan. The Social Security Trust Funds, specifically the Old Age and Survivors Insurance (OASI) and Disability Insurance (DI) trust funds, are approaching depletion faster than many realize. According to the most recent trustee report, the combined trust funds are projected to be exhausted by 2035. That's less than a decade from now. But here's what few people understand: certain economic factors could accelerate this timeline significantly. Are you prepared for what might happen if these funds run dry even sooner than projected? When we talk about Social Security payments stopping, what exactly does that mean? It's important to understand that even if the trust funds are depleted, Social Security wouldn't disappear entirely. However, benefits would be forced to rely solely on incoming payroll taxes, which would only cover about 78% of scheduled benefits. Think about that for a moment. Could you manage if your monthly check was suddenly cut by nearly a quarter? For many recipients living on fixed incomes, this reduction would be catastrophic. How would you handle essential expenses like housing, food, and healthcare with such a significant cut to your benefits? What's truly alarming is how we reached this crisis point. Social Security was designed during a time when demographic realities were vastly different. When the program began, there were approximately 16 workers paying into the system for every beneficiary. Today, that ratio has plummeted to less than 3 workers per beneficiary, and it continues to decline as our population ages. Have you noticed how politicians rarely address this fundamental mathematical problem? The system simply wasn't built to function with today's demographic reality, and that's a tough truth many leaders are reluctant to confront. Another factor driving this crisis is the unprecedented inflation we've experienced in recent years. While Social Security provides cost of living adjustments, COLAs, these increases often lag behind real-world price increases, especially for expenses that hit seniors hardest, like healthcare and housing. This means that even before any potential benefit cuts, many recipients are already seeing their purchasing power erode. When was the last time you felt like your COLA actually covered your rising expenses? For most beneficiaries, the math simply doesn't add up. Political gridlock has made this situation even more precarious. Congress has known about the looming trust fund depletion for decades but has consistently failed to implement meaningful reform. Instead of making gradual adjustments that could have preserved the system's integrity, lawmakers have kicked the can down the road, making the eventual solutions more painful and disruptive. Does it surprise you that your financial security has become a political football? Unfortunately, this pattern of postponing difficult decisions has brought us to the brink of crisis. What options do lawmakers have to address this shortfall? Several potential solutions have been proposed, including raising the retirement age, increasing payroll taxes, adjusting the benefit formula, or some combination of these approaches. Each option comes with significant trade-offs. Raising the retirement age effectively reduces lifetime benefits for all future retirees. Increasing payroll taxes places a heavier burden on current workers. Adjusting the benefit formula could mean smaller checks for future retirees. Have you considered which of these options would impact you the least? Unfortunately, any viable solution will require sacrifice from someone. Some experts suggest that privatization could offer a path forward. allowing workers to invest a portion of their Social Security taxes in personal accounts. Proponents argue this would provide better returns and give individuals more control over their retirement savings. Critics counter that such an approach would introduce market risk to what has traditionally been a guaranteed benefit and could leave vulnerable Americans exposed to financial downturns. What do you think? Would you prefer the certainty of a government guarantee, even if it's smaller, or the potential upside of market investments with their inherent risks? The Medicare program faces similar financial challenges, with its hospital insurance trust fund projected to be depleted even sooner than Social Security. Since many seniors rely on both programs, this creates a potential double jeopardy situation where healthcare and income supports could be threatened simultaneously. Have you considered how you would manage your healthcare needs if Medicare benefits were also reduced? For many older Americans, this combined threat could create an impossible financial situation. What's particularly frustrating for many beneficiaries is the sense that they've fulfilled their end of the bargain. If you've paid into the Social Security system throughout your entire working life, it's reasonable to expect the promised benefits in return. Yet due to factors entirely outside your control, demographic shifts, economic changes, and political inaction, those promises may not be kept in full. Does that seem fair to you? For millions of Americans who plan their retirements around these expected benefits, the potential shortfall represents a profound breach of trust. Some recipients might wonder if they should try to maximize their benefits now, before any potential cuts. Strategies like delaying claiming until age 70 to receive enhanced benefits might make even more sense in light of future uncertainty. Have you explored all your options for optimizing your benefit amount? Even small adjustments to your claiming strategy could make a significant difference in your long-term financial security. It's also worth considering supplementary income sources that might help offset any potential reduction in Social Security benefits. While this isn't possible for everyone, those who are able might consider part-time work, monetizing hobbies, or exploring passive income opportunities. Have you thought about what skills or assets you might leverage to create additional income streams? Planning ahead now could help soften the blow of any future benefit reductions. For younger workers, the implications of this crisis are even more profound. If you're decades away from retirement, should you even count on Social Security being there for you? Financial advisors increasingly recommend that younger generations plan as if Social Security will provide less support than it does today. This means taking personal retirement savings even more seriously. Are you contributing enough to your 401k or IRA to compensate for potentially reduced government benefits? The time to adjust your retirement strategy is now, not when the crisis fully materializes. The international perspective offers additional insights. Other developed nations have faced similar demographic challenges and implemented various reforms to their pension systems. Some have gradually increased retirement ages, others have adjusted benefit formulas, and several have introduced mandatory private savings components. What lessons might the U.S. learn from these international experiences? Perhaps the most important takeaway is that the longer reforms are delayed, the more painful they ultimately become. So what can you do right now to protect yourself? First, stay informed about potential changes to Social Security. Follow reliable news sources and official communications from the Social Security Administration. Second, review your personal financial situation and consider how you would adapt to reduced benefits if necessary. Third, if possible, build additional savings to provide a buffer against potential benefit cuts. And finally, make your voice heard by contacting your elected representatives. Have you reached out to your congressperson to express your concerns about Social Security's future? Collective advocacy may be the best way to push for responsible solutions. Remember that knowledge is power in uncertain times like these. Understanding the challenges facing Social Security allows you to make better decisions about your financial future. While the situation is concerning, it's not hopeless, but it does require awareness and proactive planning. Are you ready to take control of your financial destiny rather than simply hoping the system will take care of you? That shift in mindset might be the most important step you can take. The clock is ticking on Social Security reform, and the consequences of inaction grow more severe with each passing year. Whether you're currently receiving benefits or planning for future retirement, this issue demands your attention. The financial security of millions of Americans hangs in the balance. Will our leaders find the political courage to implement sustainable solutions? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: hope is not a strategy when it comes to something as essential as retirement security. If you found this information valuable, Please hit the like button and share this video with friends and family who might be affected by these potential changes. And don't forget to subscribe for regular updates on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and other critical financial topics. Together, we can navigate these challenging times and work toward a more secure future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.